Welcome back to Dodgers Dugout Live, presented by Mountain Dew Baja Blast, the official soft drink of Major League Baseball and Dodgers Nation. Get a Baja for a blast this MLB season and enjoy a refreshing splash of tropical lime flavor. On today's 4th of July episode, this could ruin the Dodgers season. We'll talk about what that is. I think you know what it is. We've got an injury update on Shohei Ohtani. When will we see him back in the Dodgers lineup? LA beats San Diego once again in comeback fashion. Teoscar Hernandez still owns the Padres. We've got updates from Dodgers Stadium. All that more coming up next on this 4th of July episode of Dodgers Dugout Live. Team is going to 3.
Nothing brings us together quite like Dodger baseball.
Los Angeles wins it 3-1.
The Dodgers are ruining baseball. Let's get 4 more wins and really ruin baseball.
Oh my goodness! Shohei Ohtani! Whoa! Bounces one up the middle, bats to the back, over to first to beat the champ. You gotta knock him out. The Dodgers stand tall and win back-to-back titles.
Think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.
Live from the heart of Los Angeles, this is Dodgers Dugout Live with your host, Doug McKain.
What is up in a happy 4th of July, Dodgers Nation? Doug McKain here. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMAC_LA. If you haven't yet, do us a huge favor. It takes just one time. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell. Drop a comment. Drop a like down below for your Los Angeles Dodgers. Best record in baseball. Just running away with the National League West. And also, we got the Dodgers Dugout Live poll question of the show. I asked you guys over on the X, is it time to at least maybe throttle down just a little bit for Shohei Ohtani because of some of the injuries he's been dealing with, because of where the Cy Young race is at, because of the Dodgers' postseason priorities where they want to put themselves in the best position to win 3 straight World Series titles to 3-peat. So let me know down below. But this is a 4th of July episode. There's so much to get into. I know you guys are busy today. I want to know, what is your favorite food to eat on 4th of July? And how big of a fan of fireworks are you? Got some hot takes on fireworks. That's coming up next. Let's get into it. So much to get into in the world of Dodger baseball. So let's get right into it.
Leading off, the hottest story in Dodger baseball.
All right, so the hottest story in Dodger baseball is that Shohei Ohtani was pinch hit for late in the game. Miguel Rojas comes in for Shohei Ohtani after he pitched well. It was a quality start. We'll break down his start. Had 9 strikeouts, but he did tweak his bicep, and he's going to sit on Saturday. Shohei Ohtani said, "It's the same location that I felt a couple months ago." This is through his interpreter, Will Ireton. Said, quote, "It went away pretty relatively quickly, so I expect that to happen again. On the swing, I did feel it, but I was able to play through it." So Shohei felt some tightness in those right biceps in the final at bat, the bottom of the 6th inning, after he finished that quality start where he threw a season-high 110 pitches. 110 pitches yesterday for Shohei Ohtani. And the biceps did only bother him when he was swinging the bat. It wasn't impacting him when he was on the mound, when he was pitching. He also said he had dealt with this same fleeting bicep issue early in the season and that it didn't bother him for very long. So I am a little skeptical on this. I'm a little pessimistic on this. I think that this is a warning sign for me, a little bit of a sirens going off moment for me. And we'll hear from Shohei from himself and Dave Roberts in just a second here. But Ohtani did say that he felt good enough to play moving forward. Dave Roberts did say that he was going to be out of the lineup on Saturday night's game to give him a full day to recover. The Dodgers are going to assess whether Ohtani needs further time off. So that's going to occur today in the next couple of days. So I'm sure that the big conversation today at Dodgers Stadium is going to be, hey, Shohei, how you feeling this morning? Sure, they're going to go through some extensive tests on it. But remember, Shohei has routines he does in between starts too. So that's something to consider. Dave Roberts said, quote, he's a quick healer and finds a way to get back. But I do think that for us to read and react and hear what his body is telling him is really important, given the toll it takes on his body to be a two-way player. So the previous bicep issue was very minimal. He was able to bounce back very quickly. It did not take away Ohtani playing time, though. So this is a different situation. And here's the thing. I mean, this is not the only issue, the only ailment that Shohei's had to deal with this season, because we know about the bicep thing now. He's been dealing with the knee issue, that lingering knee soreness in his left knee. That cost him a game where he missed on June 12th. He's also pitched with that blister in his right hand for over a month now that he's been dealing with. And the Dodgers are optimistic that he is still going to be able to get at least one more pitching start in before the All-Star break. That's going to be on July 10th against the Diamondbacks. That would be his next start. His next turn through the rotation, July 10th against the Diamondbacks. And that would be a home start for the Dodgers. And that would come on the next Friday that we would see him. So will we see him next Friday? We'll see. Will he feel better? We'll see. So Dave Roberts also will go on to say, obviously, we're not going to make that decision right now, but anything should be on the table, certainly. So, look, we know the season he's having. This is the greatest season in the history of Major League Baseball by an individual player. When you consider what he's done offensively, when you consider what he's doing on the mound, he's 8-2 with a 1.79 ERA. He also has a 927 OPS. That leads the Dodgers. So to keep him healthy, to keep him fresh, that is going to be the absolute priority, in my opinion, for the remainder of this season. Ohtani's start on Friday was pushed back 2 days already to give him 8 days of rest. So he got 8 days of rest, and the command early on was not great. He walked Fernando Tatis Jr. with a 4-pitch walk, and then he threw a couple more balls before throwing a strike to Jake Cronenworth, who drew a full count before drawing a walk. The leadoff walk came back to hurt Shohei, with Tatis coming around to score on the single that Shohei gave up to Gavin Sheets. Ohtani did limit that damage. He got all 3 outs in the first inning by striking out the side, which definitely, I think, propelled his start. After that Gavin Sheets RBI single, Shohei got on a dominant run. He was absolutely electric out there with the strikeouts. He struck out 6 of the next 7 hitters that he faced. He did give up another 2 runs, one on a Jackson Merrill solo home run in the 4th inning, and a Xander Bogaerts RBI double there in the 6th inning, where Ohtani was able to strand a couple runners. But, hey, still a really good start. Not a bad start at all. I mean, when Shohei goes out there, you expect greatness every single time, whether he's on the mound, whether he's in the batter's box. But it definitely wasn't that explosive, hey, I'm the Cy Young level start that he expects from himself, and that's the goal that he set for himself. I mean, his first 10 starts, he allowed 7 runs, 5 earned in 61 innings of work. And now Ohtani has given up 14 runs, 12 earned in 24 2/3 innings in his last 4 starts. So the momentum that he built on the mound is still elite. Make no mistake about it. Shohei Ohtani is still one of the very best pitchers in Major League Baseball this season. There's no denying that at all. And you look at his June, a 3.28 ERA, and then the further you get back, the more dominant he was. He had a .75 ERA in April. He had one start in March where he gave up no runs in 6 innings of work. He gave just one hit against the Guardians. And then in May, a 1.08 ERA in 4 starts, very dominant. And then that 1.08 ERA go up to 3.28 ERA in June. And then yesterday, he gives up 3 runs on 7 hits in 6 innings of work, 9 strikeouts, 2 walks, gave the home run to Jackson Merrill, threw a season-high 110 pitches. So a couple of things here before we hear from Shohei Ohtani. One, let's be honest about this, and I've been saying this the entire year. It's unlikely that Shohei Ohtani is going to win the National League Cy Young. That's not a hot take. That's not saying anything negative about Shohei Ohtani's pitching ability. That's a fact. And if you have an issue with the facts, then this isn't the show for you, because I'm just here to give you the actual facts, the truth, so that when you talk to your Dodgers friends and family, when you're driving around in your car, when you're at your work, wherever you're at, that you know the most accurate stats and information and assessment of the Los Angeles Dodgers, okay? If you want someone to tell you that we're all sunshine and rainbows and unicorns and everything is going to go our way every single time, well, you can believe it, but then when it doesn't happen, you're going to look like you don't know what you're talking about. Let's just be honest about that. And the reason why it's going to be difficult for Shohei Ohtani to win a Cy Young is because of the qualifying. I mean, the Dodgers, 89 games, and Shohei Ohtani, when you look at where he's at this season, you're going to just need more innings to get to qualify. And right now, 85 and 2/3 innings for Shohei, that doesn't qualify for the ERA title. So there's that. And then 2, if you just look at the competition in the National League right now that he's going up against, it's just a very difficult year to envision this realistically. Jacob Mizorowski has made 17 starts. He's posted a 1.47 ERA. He has 4.3 FWAR, and he's thrown 104 innings. So you couldn't even make a legitimate case why Shohei should win a Cy Young over Jacob Mizorowski. Then there's Christopher Sanchez, 18 starts, a 2 ERA, but 117 innings of work and a 4.3 FWAR. And then there's Shohei Ohtani, a 1.79 ERA in 85 and 2/3 innings in 14 starts, a 3 FWAR. So Christopher Sanchez and Jacob Mizorowski have 1.3 more FWAR than Shohei Ohtani has. Now, if one or both those guys were going to get injured, then I think that Shohei could up those innings and possibly take that Cy Young. He still has Chris Sale that is pretty close to Shohei in some respects, and Paul Skeens, who knows if he has a very hot second half, but he's got 3.62 ERA. But the point is that if they're trying to force Shohei to make all of these starts, well, if they're doing that because you're trying to pursue the Cy Young, you're ultimately, I think, wasting a lot of bullets in June and July and August that you really should be saving for October. Because, look, I definitely think the Dodgers are still going to be in the mix for Tarek Skubal. They're definitely going to pursue Tarek Skubal. But I also think that if they think the price tag is too high, they don't want to part ways with prospects, and they're going to go with their top starters that they have this year, which is Yamamoto and Ohtani, and you get Blake Snell and Tyler Glasnow back. Well, the point is you're going to need Shohei Ohtani, the pitcher, more than ever. And last year, he was great at times in the postseason. Of course, there was the Game 4 against the Brewers where he had the best game ever individually of any baseball player in a game in the history of the sport, in my opinion. 10 strikeouts on the mound, 3 home runs at the plate. But Game 7, if the Dodgers don't come back in Game 7 and Miguel Rojas doesn't hit the home run and Will Smith doesn't hit the home run and the Dodgers pitching in the bullpen and Yamamoto doesn't absolutely do hero's work there, one of the big storylines would have been Shohei Ohtani's home run that he gave up to Bo Bichette when he looked absolutely gassed and he looked exhausted out there on the mound and he was pitching on 3 days rest. Do you want to go through a situation like that? Because this is going to be the very first year of Shohei Ohtani's future first ballot Hall of Fame, future I am the undisputed GOAT, I am the Lionel Messi of baseball level career. This will be the first time that Shohei goes wire to wire from start to finish, from spring training to October as a pitcher and a hitter. With the Angels in 2022, that organization was an absolute dumpster fire. They did not make the postseason. So we're going to be on uncharted waters for Shohei Ohtani as far as him going and pitching in the postseason after pitching, hitting for an entire year. He's also older now, also after a second Tommy John surgery, also after dealing with a knee injury, bicep, and blister. Even Superman had to go to the Fortress of Solitude sometimes. Okay? And this Cy Young thing is a pipe dream unless other guys get injured, and it's because he pitches in a 6-man rotation. Let me make that very abundantly clear. If Shohei Ohtani pitched in a 5-man rotation and he put up these same numbers but had another 20 or 30 more innings, he would win the Cy Young. So this is not against his ability. Shohei Ohtani is a Cy Young level pitcher, a Cy Young winning level pitcher. But until they get into a 5-man rotation, he can make more starts and you can compete with those other guys. It's not going to happen this year. If it was a year where it was the R.A. Dickey year in 2012 or whatever it may be, where if Mason Miller was having this crazy year and you didn't have insane starting pitching, then yeah, you could do it. But I've said before, this is the 67th Academy Awards on March 27th, 1995. At that Academy Awards, the Best Picture category, you had Forrest Gump, you had Pulp Fiction, you had The Shawshank Redemption, right? It was an absolutely loaded Best Picture category. That's the Cy Young race this year. There's just so many great pitchers. And guess what? Forrest Gump won, and we had Pat Murphy say that Jacob Mizorowski is Forrest Gump. He's going to win, but Pulp Fiction was the better movie. Shohei Ohtani's Pulp Fiction. Shohei Ohtani's The Shawshank Redemption. Better movies, in my opinion, than the one that won. So that's the way I look at it with Shohei Ohtani, that even though he might not win, what he's going to win is his 5th unanimous MVP, and he's projected to have a 10-plus WAR season for the first time, and I think he's going to get an award that I'm giving out. It's an award that I've made up. It's the MVPE, Most Valuable Player Ever. So let's throttle down a little bit for Shohei. Let's skip some starts. Let's make sure that he's 100% healthy, because the number one priority for Shohei has to be winning a World Series. It has to be three-peating. That's why he came here. He came to the Dodgers to win at the highest level, not to win individual awards, which he's still going to win, okay? And sometimes you just got to prioritize one thing over the other. This doesn't make me a wet blanket. This makes me someone that sees the big picture in my eyes. And the last thing I want to see would be Shohei Ohtani to suffer a serious injury, because if you lose him, the season's over. I'll tell you that right now. If Shohei Ohtani is either injured or compromised or gassed, the Dodgers will not win a third straight World Series title. And I think that, yes, the Cy Young is something that he should still pursue at some point in his career. And this year just might not be the year that you want to use those bullets in June. And the way that I look at it is I want to see Shohei continue to add those award infinity stones to his trophy case, which he essentially has every award you could ever win, except for the Cy Young, except for a batting title. But I think the one that I want to see him win this year, the one to me that it should be the biggest priority this year, is for him to get a World Series MVP. Yamamoto won it last year. Shohei Ohtani was deserving, was great in that series, but Yamamoto was on another level because of what he did on the mound. If Shohei Ohtani has his defining World Series, I think that to me would be as good for his legacy as anything this year. Freddie Freeman won it in 2024. Yamamoto won it in 2025. And for Shohei to have that signature World Series, he's got to have it in the tank. You cannot empty the clip right now on Shohei Ohtani. And I'm concerned about it. And I see people out there, they're kind of talking crazy, in my opinion, saying, oh, Shohei gave us 2 World Series. You let the man do what he wants and da-da-da-da-da. Look, sure. But if that's the case, then you don't have a strong organization. And we know the Dodgers have a strong organization, the strongest in sports. I'll give you a perfect example. Look at the dumpster fire Lakers under Rob Pelinka. Rob Pelinka allowed LeBron James and Anthony Davis to influence him to trading for Russell Westbrook in a trade that ended up denying any chance to win back-to-back titles, that set the organization back 5 to 10 years, okay? Great organizations don't let their players make all the decisions, okay? You got to have some tough conversations at some point. But let's hear from Shohei Ohtani. He spoke to reporters after the game, and he was very open and honest about his start and the update on the bicep.
Hey, first, it's not typical we see you come out of the game late. Was there a reason just that Miguel Rojas pinch hit for you late in the game?
ピンヒッターを送られた理由としては何かありましたか？
バイセップスちょっと気になるところがあったので、最後の打席の後ですかね。はい、大事を取ってっていう感じですかね。
Yeah, more precautionary reason. I was a little concerned with my biceps with the last at bat that I took.
When you look at just the stuff on the mound right now, ultimately the numbers really have been excellent. But I know, you are someone who wants the best. How do you just assess a night when you have the strikeouts, but you do have some of that hard contact there?
成績自体悪くなかったですけども、球のスタッフとして良かったですし、ちょっとこれ今日みたいな試合を振り返ってみてどう思ってますか？
いいところと悪いところありながら、6回まず投げて、それなりになんていうんですかね、まだ勝てる希望を残しながらゲームを残したっていう感じじゃないかなと思います。
Yeah, I think I did the bare minimum, which is to get through 6, give the team the chance to win, still keep the game in check. But there were some good and some bad in there.
Clearly, was it your right biceps? And then did you sort of feel it on a specific swing?
右腕、右のバイセプスなのかと、で何かスイングで感じたものなのか。
右のバイセプスですね。はい。1ヶ月2ヶ月前ぐらいも練習でちょっとなったんですけど、その時は比較的早くよくはなったので、今回もそうじゃないかなとは思ってます。
Yeah, it's my right biceps. It's the same location that I, felt a couple months ago. And it went away pretty relatively quickly, so I expect that to happen again.
A couple months ago, did you only feel it when you swung, or did you also feel it when you were throwing?
2ヶ月前はスイングで感じたのか、それとも投げて、
スイングですね。はい。その時はそのまま出ましたけど。はい。
On the swing, I did feel it, but I was able to play through it.
Just to be clear, do you expect to be in there tomorrow, and do you expect it to affect your next start at all?
そういう試合出ますか？で、登板に影響しますか？次のピッチングの。
まず今夜明日と様子を見て、今日勝ったのすごく大きいと思いますし、少しこのチーム的には余裕が出てるとは思うので、明日出るかどうかっていうのはもう監督の判断になるかなと思います。
Yeah, it was big that we won. but it's going to ultimately be up to the manager to see what he feels.
So definitely encouraging stuff just to know that, like, this is not something that he's overly concerned about. But, hey, am I Marlin from Finding Nemo? Am I Finding Nemo's dad that kind of is a little bit of a worrywart helicopter parent when it comes to Shohei Ohtani? Maybe a little bit. Not going to lie. But, look, man, to me, I've covered athletes for a long time, over a decade. This is just such a special athlete, one that we'll never see again. And I want to see him great as long as we can see him. But let's hear from Dave Roberts, hear what Doc had to say about the situation.
There was just so much talk.
Dave, just first with Shohei, he shared with us that him coming out of game late was more precautionary due to that right bicep. Where is your level of concern, and does that change just the plans for him to DH kind of moving forward these next few days?
Yeah, it was precautionary. Just kind of tightened up on the bicep, so he's not going to DH tomorrow. So we'll give him a day to fully recover, treat it up, and then from at that point in time, we'll just go from there.
Sherry had experienced this a few months ago. When you kind of just look at this injury, I know you just said you're going to go tomorrow, but kind of, do you feel like it has any impact anywhere else moving forward?
I don't know. I don't think so. He's dealt with it before. He's a quick healer and finds a way to get back. But I do think that for us to read and react and to kind of hear what his body is telling him is really important. And given the toll that, it takes on his body to be a two-way player.
Dave, Shohei said that this was something that he had felt a couple months ago, but that it went away relatively quickly. Around what time of the season was that?
You know what? It was so benign that I didn't hear about it until tonight. So I would assume that he hasn't missed much time, and that's the first I've heard of it. So it didn't take him out of playing.
Dave, on a night like tonight when he throws 110 pitches, is the knee also a little bit of a
No, tonight the knee wasn't of all, and even to be honest with you, is the bicep didn't bother him while throwing. It was when he took his last swing. So the knee didn't bother him at all tonight.
What did you see him, like, totally?
I thought tonight, just the first inning initially, just didn't have command. You walk the first two guys, and then, you start to kind of figure some things out. And then, obviously the home run by Merrill. And then in that sixth inning, it just got a little bit, he leaves a sinker up, and Bogarts hits it the other way for a double. 2 outs gone, first base. So good outing. But I think, again, where with Shohei, the stuff that he has, he's just got to be more efficient to be able to get into that seventh inning. And the last few starts, he just hasn't given himself a chance.
What do you think of the way he and Dalton worked together?
I thought they were fine. I thought they did a good job. They seemed to be on the same page tonight.
This was one of the more emphatic swings and reactions we've seen from Teo this season. What is him having him back and healthy? How does that help elongate the depth of your lineup?
It elongates and the depth of our lineup. Obviously, I think Teo, he's missed a lot of time recently, and so for him to get back and contribute, there's a lot of built-up kind of anxiousness and anticipation to do something to help us win. So that was a big hit. Morehomes, had our number for quite some time and left a slider middle and took a really good swing.
How would you rate the bat flip?
You know what? Honestly, I was watching the ball, so I didn't see the bat flip. Was it a good one? Nice. Good for him. It's a big win. Big win.
How close is Teo?
So you heard him right there. I mean, first of all, talking about Dalton rushing him on the same page, I thought that was great. Doesn't feel like there's a lot of fear or worry in his tone, so that's good. He also mentioned Teoscar Hernandez, by the way. Definitely want to talk about Teo for a quick second here. Teoscar Hernandez missed more than a month with that hamstring injury. And Teo, I think, will always have a soft spot in Dodgers fans' hearts for a lot of reasons. He was so big in 2024. Just absolutely massive swings throughout that entire run, from the NLDS against the Padres in Game 5, the big home run that he hit, the insurance run late, and then also just the big home runs in moments throughout, and also just against the Yankees, he was huge in that series. She had that big swing in the Game 5 clincher in center field over Aaron Judge's head. But last night, Teoscar Hernandez, the Dodgers were trailing 3-0. 3-0 in the bottom of the 7th inning. You had Morone on the mound for the Padres, and this is such a Padres LOL moment where earlier in that inning, Kyle Tucker hit into a play that should have been an easy double play, a 4-6-3 double play that would have given him 2 outs, but Cronenworth just absolutely botched an absolute routine play. And then Teo steps up to the plate, bases loaded, no outs. The Dodgers trailing 3-0, and Teoscar Hernandez is Teo things. All-Star Hernandez.
Run is on, and the go-ahead run is up in the form of Teoscar Hernandez, who feels like a ticking time bomb here in his first week back. Cracks one in the air, left center field, bomb, bang, grand slam.
If that's not the most Padres moment, I don't know what is, man. You're absolutely just choking away another terrible situation for San Diego. And by the way, where's Rob Parker at right now? Can someone check on Rob Parker? He does Fox Sports Radio. He has been a Hall of Fame voter for a long time. Rob Parker picked the Padres to win the NL West. Woo! That's a good one, Rob Parker. And now the Dodgers are running away with the NL West, and the Padres SD equals season done. Kind of wild to think the Dodgers pulled away from the Padres before the All-Star break. The Dodgers now 58-31, 14 games up from the Padres, and the Diamondbacks 21 games up from the Giants. It's like the Secretariat at the Belmont Stakes just pulling away, and no one can even touch them. There's not even any threats right now. So hilarious. Tanner Scott was big, by the way. Another big night for Tanner Scott. The Dodgers get the win. But another big storyline before we head out of this one. Dalton Rushing, you got to give him a ton of credit. Goes 4 for 4 the other night on Friday. Hit the big home run. Yesterday, he's able to get a hit. Also on the same page with Dalton Rushing. I'm so proud of this guy, how he's handled the situation, what his teammates say about him. What did I say, guys? Don't give up on Dalton Rushing. Look, if you want to learn how to ride a bike, you're going to have to get some scraped knees, right? And he's had some scraped knees, but he's learning. And I'm very proud of this young Dodger. Here was Rushing from the Dodgers clubhouse after the game.
There was just so much talk afterwards about you guys getting back on track. Can you just kind of tell me, as you guys navigated through their lineup, and kind of what the feeling was amongst you two, and how you were able just to kind of find the ways to be efficient when need be, and also to get the strikeout when need be?
Yeah, I thought he take the 2 walks in the first out of it. It's hard to get out of that kind of situation. I thought he did a good job throughout the game. These guys saw him just a week and a half ago. Speaking as a hitter, you kind of have a better idea of what guys are trying to do to you over the course of facing a guy twice in a week. But I thought he threw the ball really well. I thought he gave us a chance to win. King was throwing the ball really well tonight. Made it tough for us to put up runs. Luckily, we got a big swing out of Teo, and it was enough to do it. But I thought Shohei threw the ball really well tonight.
Everyone, and even yourself, talked about how you could use last week as a learning experience. How did you find just now coming out of this outing, and kind of how you two were able to kind of communicate with each other, work with each other, and also just like get back on track together? Yeah,
it's kind of like a boost of confidence. You feel as if you guys are on the same page throughout the whole night. And like I said, obviously you take those 2 walks in the first out of it, and I think he had a very quality start. He gave us a chance to win, and that's all we ask out of our starting pitchers every time.
Dalton, Ohtani said last time when he started calling his own pitches that he kind of wanted to show you what he likes to do. How much better do you feel you understand what he likes to do now compared to a week ago?
I thought tonight I had a good idea of what he was trying to do. Thought we were on the same page a lot tonight, and obviously that once again is a boost of confidence moving forward. He's not an easy guy to call for, but also he's who he is for a reason, Yeah, I'm glad we were on the same page for most of the night, and look forward to his next one.
What makes him challenging to call for?
A lot of pitches that are really good, a lot of options. Yeah, I think that's the best way to put it.
Just to pop up, why are you calling for the pitches tonight?
Majority, yes. Yes.
How tough is it to sort of game plan inning by inning with him, especially because, like, unlike a traditional pitcher, like, you're not really, like, sitting with him in the dugout. Like, you don't really have this time between innings.
Yeah, it's tough. We have to lean on Mark a little bit for translation. Obviously, Will helping out with translation, but Mark just kind of communicated between the two of us. It makes it a little tougher, obviously, but I think he does a great job with it. And like I said, I thought we were on the same page a lot tonight. Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much.
Love to see that, man. That's a dude that's growing, man. That's a dude that's growing through experience. Maturity for young players, it's not a light switch. It's a dimmer switch. You can flip it. Young players, maturity it's like a Polaroid picture, man. You see the picture, but you got to wave it a little bit, then it comes into focus, man. I'm very proud of Dalton Rushing, dude. I think it was really cool how he's handled this situation. I love how Shohei's handled the situation, too. That's why his organization is absolutely incredible, because they don't let small things become big things. And that's a great example right there. But, all right, guys, let's go to a quick 7th inning stretch. I want to hear from you guys on this 4th of July.
The 7th inning stretch.
All right, we got Joe. Doug, get any 4th of July traditions? Yeah, look, I mean, for me, I watch Jaws every year. Dun-dun, dun-dun. Or as I like to call it, Robleski. Yeah, you guys, what's your favorite to do on 4th of July? We got Brandon. D-Mac, what is up with River Ryan? Hey, Brandon Gomes said that his hamstring injury is not overly serious, so that's definitely a good thing. Let me know what you guys' favorite food is to eat, by the way. Mine is easily deviled eggs, dude. I basically only eat them on, like, holidays. Good stuff. We've got R. Carino, what is up? We got the real Mikey, what is up? It's an epic moment for LA. For LeBron, LA fanboy, you should know that. SD equals season done. Nice one, D-Mac. What's up, Taze? What's up? Okay, we got Dalton is playing well. Let's go. All right, we got Rob Parker is a tool. Greg, when do you think they'll call up Danny Duffy so he can give Shohei some rest? That's from Greg. Okay, you guys are crazy, man. He's working hard. All right, guys, let's get Nando. D-Max going to go full Chug McKain on 4th of July. Yeah, I'm going to definitely crush some brew for sure. Some Morelos. What's everyone's beard choice, bro? He will be fine. We got D-Mac going to unleash Chuck McKain. Any Mets players? That's interesting. I'll look into that. I guess it's going to be tough to trade for marginal guys. I mean, I think they'll add a couple potentially, but this roster is very stacked. So you're going to have to give someone on this roster some impact to really make a difference. Nando, D-Mac, please keep all your fingers tonight. I don't want to go JPP, man. That was scary, dude. But all right, let's do a couple more here. Nice to see you with Spiegel. Yeah, it was cool. If you guys didn't yet, go check out my man Jeff Spiegel. Went on his show. It was good times for sure. Someone said it was like Stone Cold facing Goldberg in the ring for the first time. Scott Slater, what up, D-Mac? Happy 4th. Favorite food is feasting on Lil Bro. Bang. There we go. Love it. All right, guys, running out of time, so let's go to the walk-off.
The walk-off.
All right, today for the walk-off, I do think a couple things here. First of all, really cool to see Tanner Scott looking like he's really turned that season around. Pretty amazing stuff. And I'll never forget last year at FanFest, or this year at FanFest, there was a fan, and all the media were huddling around Tanner Scott. It's about to do his little scrum. And it's very quiet. It's very early. And there was some fan, he was like 15, 16 years old. And he's like, Tanner, you suck. We don't want you. And Tanner kind of looks up about him. We look up at him. The media's looking around. We're like, dude, that's just sad. And then Tanner Scott just proceeded to answer questions. And he said, hey, I sucked last year. And he was very open about how he didn't like his performance last year. He really owned up to it. And now Tanner Scott is in a position where he's just looking like that dominant reliever that the Dodgers thought they were getting last year. This year, Tanner's got a 2.02 ERA, and that's down from 4.74 last year. The strikeouts are up 9.47 last year per nine. This year, 11.36. I think there's a world where Tanner Scott could even be the Dodgers closer, depending on how Edwin Diaz looks when he gets back. So very happy about Tanner Scott. That's really cool. That dude's a dog, and I'm happy about his success. So, guys, have a great 4th of July. You guys are awesome. Love all you guys. Rock with me the morning of 4th of July. I got my Team USA jersey. You guys see what number I got in the back? I'll show you who I got in the back here, though. Yes, sir. Yeah. Let's go. D-Mac, USA, America. Happy birthday to America 250. All right, guys, enjoy today. Spend time with your family and friends. Watch Dodger baseball. See you guys tomorrow. And until next time, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.